Hello, everybody. Uh, Today we are going to talk about Saturn, as I promised that we will discuss about understanding Saturn, and today's topic is covered to that. The areas which we will cover today will be primarily towards what is Saturn as a planet. It will be both in Hindi and English, so I might use Hindi words while talking about it. सो जैसे कि हम जानते हैं कि शनि जो है वो एक ग्रह है, एक प्लैनेट है, और वो सूर्य के चक्र निकालता है जैसे दूसरे प्लैनेट्स इस गैलेक्सी में सूर्य के चक्कर घूमते रहते हैं। सो पहली चीज़ हम ये जानेंगे कि सैटर्न का बिहेवियर क्या है। सैटर्न कौन से, सो जैसे कि हम जानते हैं कि 12 घर होते हैं कुंडली में, और जहाँ जहाँ सैटर्न बैठता है वो क्या इफ़ेक्ट देता है। एट द सेम टाइम वी विल अंडरस्टैंड, पीपल बहुत सारे लोग ये सुनते हैं कि साढ़े सती है या शनि की ढैया है, और these are the words commonly used when you meet a Vedic astrologer. So what does they mean by saying what they say? And also a lot of notion about transits of Saturn. So many people must be hearing the 29th of March, Saturn moved from one house to another. So how it impacts? Because there is a lot of confusion that sometimes the astrologers say Dasha, sometimes the astrologer say the placement, sometimes the astrologer says the aspect, sometimes the astrologer say transit, that ये planet यहाँ जा रहा है या वहाँ जा रहा है, so उसकी वजह से all of these things are happening. So uh, I will try to put some light on it. If you have any questions, maybe after the video, you can put in comments and I will try to reply if at all. But we are very small team today, maybe 100 followers. Please do share the channel with others as well, if at all you feel like informing. So Saturn, Shani, uh, uh, हम ये सब जानते हैं कि शनि सूर्य से बहुत दूर है. इट्स वेरी फार फ्रॉम सन, राइट? uh, and then you have planets which are in the linear motion. We have Mercury, Venus, Mars, Earth, Jupiter, and then you have, Saturn. So it is very far off, and also Saturn has a ring. I will not confuse you much. I will go to the Saturn directly because the ring, the north node of the ring is called as Rahu. This south node of the ring is called as Ketu. So they have their own. Maybe some other day I'll cover Rahu and Ketu. But if you look from just the Saturn perspective, it's a huge planet, very cold planet, as we understand by the astronomy. A cold planet, distance planet, huge planet. So of course, atmospheric, it will have effects, right? Because we know that the atmosphere today on Earth, uh, like if sun comes closer, the temperature of Earth changes. If moon comes closer to planet Earth, so there is a sense of atmospheric presence. Similarly, of course, like any other planet, or when sun can have, definitely Saturn can also have effect on planet. So this planet in Vedic astrology is associated with the discipline, righteousness, honesty, uh, loyalty. But why again in Vedic astrology इसको क्रूर ग्रह क्यों बोलते हैं? अगर ये सच्चाई के देवता है तो ये क्रूर ग्रह कैसे हो गए? अ, जैसे राहु केतु शनि हम जब बोलते हैं तो एक क्रूर ग्रह की कैपेसिटी में आते हैं. Another thing which you should retrospect when you talk about Saturn, Saturn is not all good when we are using these words called discipline, honesty, integrity, blah blah blah. Uh, आज के maybe not see me for my young followers, or in future if anybody is watching, last 25 years to 30 years, I would say 20 years, 25 years, like from 2000s era, we have been hearing a lot about Saturn. A lot of temples have come in place of Saturn, and बहुत सारे मंदिरों में लोग जाने लग गए हैं, शनि की पूजा करने लग गए हैं, शनि के मंत्र बोलने लग गए हैं। मैं एक छोटा सा एग्जाम्पल बताता हूँ कि राम जी के फादर हुआ करते थे दशरथ। दशरथ जी अपने ग्रहों की वजह से बहुत परेशान थे, तो वो एक बार शनि को मिलने गए। तो शनि जो है उनकी तरफ पीठ करके खड़ा था। तो दशरथ दशरथ जी ने पूछा कि आप मेरी तरफ पीठ करके क्यों खड़े हो? तो शनि जी ने बोला कि मैं आप पे अपनी दृष्टि नहीं डालना चाहता हूँ। तो ये वर्णन ये लिखा हुआ है पुराणों में। तो जब शनि की दृष्टि ही इतनी खराब होती हो सकती है, जो शनि महाराज खुद बताए थे, पर हम आज के ज़माने में जब हम टेम्पल जाते हैं तो शनि के मंदिर जाते हैं एंड डू ऑल दैट थिंग्स। सो ये बहुत बढ़ गया है 20-25 सालों में। If you go to your elders and ask them, Shani temple used to be outside the temple. Shani temple was not to be visited just like that. So there are many things which are not being followed, and a lot of confusion have arrived. So I was talking about crude grah. So it is considered to be a crude grah, irrespective of its characteristics, as I just told you about honesty, discipline, and all that. Uh, so that Saturn, as a planet and as what it gives you, it is very slow moving planet. So other planets moves, like for example, Moon changes its house in 2.5 days. Uh, Venus changes its house in 1 year and some months. Uh, Shani Rahu, sorry, Mercury changes its house. So there are planets which changes their houses because of their speed, distance, size, uh, at a 1 year period, uh, but or maybe maximum 1 year 7 months period. But Saturn changes its house every 2.5 years. And that is what have happened. So changing means moving from one house to another. As we know that sky is divided into 12 parts, and those 12 parts are called as rashis. So planets keeps moving from there. So ideally, that is how the planet's movement can impact. So if any planet moves, our life changes. It is based on what things are going on. But transits per se will not decide your future. It can change a bit, but the more impact, my study says that the more impact of planet comes in when you have dasha changes. The more impact of planets happens when antardasha changes. Impact of planet happens when um, aspects are considered, when planets behavior and which house they are sitting and which rashi they are sitting. So for example, I'll tell you the worst position for Saturn. Let's talk about that. So worst position for Saturn is sitting in sun's house. So if anybody has 5 number uh, in the house and you have Saturn placed there, that is the worst position. So that position Saturn will definitely give you trouble, definitely. Whether it is in Dasha, Antardasha, Mahadasha, Pratyantardasha, even transit, it will definitely make some changes for your life. So I will quickly cover the houses here so you can understand it. Maybe if you are aware of where is your placement, so you can connect and check whether does it help you to understand Saturn more clearly, right? So if at all when your birth happens and the diagram is made, and in out of those 12 houses, if Saturn comes and sits when you're born in first house, so first house Saturn uh, makes you very disciplined, over disciplined. So add over in every word which I say. Um, Again, if the house is friendly to him, so if it is not sitting in number 5, if it is sitting in number 10 or 11, that is Saturn's own house. So if he's sitting in number 10 and 11, that's his own house. So he will definitely help you. So if you have that number and Saturn is sitting there, so you will be very, very disciplined, honest, uh, following routine, following time, uh, good with labors. And if it is sitting in a bad house, then you know you are not supposed to do these things. But if you have that, you are supposed to do these things. So if you have number 5 and you are overly disciplined, overly honest, overly uh, driven by time, and overly driven by uh, things which are not keen to Saturn, that will create a problem. So likewise, so your personality becomes very honest and all. Personality, number one, first house. Personality becomes very honest, disciplined, righteous, respecting elders based on the position. Second house is, um, if you have Saturn in second house, you will be very stringent in expenses. You will not be spending money too often. आप पैसे सोच समझ के खर्चा करेंगे. आप पैसों का बहुत ख्याल रखेंगे. अ, आप बहुत मेहनत करेंगे. You will work a lot. uh, and if it is not placed in a good house, uh, then आपको बहुत मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी to earn money, right? Third house, if you have Saturn in third house, then you will be very sharp in talking, very direct. You will not understand emotions. You'll be very direct and very honest and very outspoken and very following by the book kind of a personality. Very strict with younger brothers, younger siblings. Um, so that's fourth house, fifth house, third house. Sorry, this was all third house. Fourth house Saturn, your mother will be very strict. You will have distance, or you will have too much blunt behavior towards your mother. Your mother must have been a very strict mother when you were a kid. She would must have been given you good upbringing in terms of discipline, devotion, those kind of stuff. If you have Saturn in fifth house, you will be very direct with your children. You'll be making sure that your children are very disciplined in their behavior, very honest. Um, but there will be delay in getting like when if once you get married, it also causes delay in conceiving a child. That's also Saturn fifth house. Saturn sixth house, very sharp with um, enemies, very sharp and very uh, direct with, you will just pull your socks and go and fight. Too immediate to prove your point, very direct in proving your point. That's also one of the trait. Like irrespective of whether you're right or wrong, that based on which house, which friendly house or enemy house is sitting, but you'll be very direct in proving the point. Very followed, very you'll follow discipline. If there is a party with your friends or somewhere, you'll be on time reaching there, and then telling them that you are all late and why are you late and questioning them. That's sixth house of Saturn. Seventh house of Saturn, uh, very demanding with your life partner, with your friends, with your partners, your spouse, your very over expectations are created in terms of uh, being there, irrespective of they being there or not. Very uh, you know for them proving a point is very important, and always want to be one up, always want to be very dominating, controlling kind of a behavior. That's Saturn in seventh house. Eighth house Saturn is, most of the people who have eighth house Saturn, uh, they have a lot of controlled behavior. When I say controlled behavior, it is more to do with uh, you know not able to adjust anywhere, not able to uh, understand people, too much thought process towards right and wrong, but not able to convey that. A lot of analysis, very good scientists, uh, very good writers also. If at all you have Saturn in eighth house, ninth house Saturn is very much hardworking, very devotional also, uh, very very much abiding by the law, always making sure that they reach airport on time or station on time, and very बहुत ही अपने पिता के साथ में संबंध ठीक नहीं रहते हैं. If you have ninth of Saturn, father and you not go well, uh, or you may be distance from father. Ninth house Saturn also creates delays in your luck factor. Like most of them, post 40, they get lucky in their life. 42. 10th house Saturn is very hardworking people. They always think whether they are, I think 10th house Saturn is his own house, are very good people, as per me, because when they do something, they always do self-analysis. Did they right? Did they do right? अच्छा करें नहीं करें, उनको हमेशा ये लगा हुआ रहता है कि वो सही से सबके साथ ठीक से रहें, अच्छे से रहें, बहुत मेहनत करते हैं. 11th house Saturn is more to do with you know uh, ट्रेंजी, कंजूस लोग, हर चीज़ के अंदर प्रॉब्लम निकालने वाले लोग, बहुत ही बहुत ही धीरे चलने वाले लोग, ऑल्सो पीपल वॉक स्लोली, एंड their expectations would be very uh, high fi is in, they have very high expectation of people, that people should be like this, people should be like that. 12th house Saturn, closer to the god, very god fearing, expecting a lot of pain for others, standing for them, but very outspoken, tit for tat, not easy to convince them, very strong in their conviction and belief system, uh, good with prayers, some divine blessings. So these are the placements of Saturn when you are born. You can check your horoscope to understand that, and then that will help you to get more insight about your own horoscope. Now transits, I just wanted to talk about. Now, if at all, if a person is going through a Saturn Mahadasha, also check how their planets are placed currently. Um, so if the Saturn is in good house, bad house, what to expect, you can go and check how things are happening. And then when Antardasha happens, if Saturn Antardasha happens, same logic applies. How is Saturn placed? If Saturn is placed good, then expect those things which I've mentioned. If Saturn is bad, don't do the things which are expected, because if you not do things which I've just told happens, then you are saved by Saturn. Remedies for Saturn: pray Lord Hanuman. हनुमान जी की भक्ति करो, हनुमान चालीसा रोज पढ़ो. मनोजवम मारुततुल्य वेगम जितेंद्रिय बुद्धिमता वरिष्ठम वातात्मज वानरयुत मुख्यम श्री राम दूतम शरण प्रपद्ये. इसका जाप करो. सैटरडे के दिन हम शनि के दान करो, जो भी शनि के दान होते हैं आप सबको पता ही है. Saturn is very popular in Kali Yuga, last 25 years, as I was saying. Many people are not even aware. Sadesati, everybody gets in 3 times mostly in lifetime. Third time you pass away, most of the people. First phase Sadesati is realization, ignorance. I normally say ignorance. First phase people ignore. People think that they are nothing is bad and they can get over it, and it is not that bad as it looks. Second phase, solid realization, and third phase is fixing. If you don't fix it, then you're gone for really good time. So Sarasati is very difficult. It is a karmic debt which you pay off. So when Sarasati is not there, you accumulate bad karmas. When Sarasati comes, you pay the price for those bad karmas. That is the meaning of Sarasati. As simple as this. When you don't have sadasati, you do bad karmas, good karmas, but bad karmas fall is not necessary that you get it when you don't have sadasati. But when you have sadasati, definitely you will pay a price for the bad karma what you did. First phase is ignorance. Third phase is going through the shit, acceptance, and third phase is fixing what you spoiled it. If you don't do it, then continue with the pain what Saraswati gives you. Dhaiya, again, part of placements, more to do. Uh, Transits can be part of that project. So that is also painful. Many people have gone bankrupt in Dhaiya, not in Saraswati. So Dhaiyas are very difficult period. It is for 2.5 years. So that is very very difficult time. Shani ki dhaiya, what we call it as. Combination of Saturn. If it is sitting with friends, good. If it is sitting with enemies like Sun, very difficult. Saturn Sun combination, very difficult. Saturn Sun in Sun's sign, like if you are number 5 and Saturn and Sun are together, you're gone, boss. A lot of remedies need to be done. Uh, if you have any questions, feel free. I am trying to put it, you know, little bit of light on understanding Saturn. If you have any questions, do ask me. You can put it on comment, and I will definitely reply to you. And you know, I'm trying to keep this video short so that Instagram, maybe it's just an attempt by me. If you like it, do press the like button and do share with your friends. We all are going through a big transit currently. Uh, Days are not good. Try not to have misunderstandings. Try not to have fights, arguments. If you have, also resolve it soon. Till 7th night, Mercury is retrograde. Till 14th of April, Venus is retrograde. Still, Saturn have just changed the house. Lot of ups and downs are happening. Be careful and stay in touch. I'll make the other two videos